I'm tired. I am pretty stressed. You know, as I'm sure as you can imagine. Man, it's the time of change. By the time you've seen this, I will have turned 17. I just got accepted to college. Oh, stuff is happening, and I think this is a good time to take my channel in a different direction. And what better way to do that than to try to train a computer to recognize furries? I got you for a second, didn't I? Oh, we've talked about neural networks before. See this guy? Remember the real-time face reenactment thing? And we've talked about I don't know, like deep fakes, and I think at one point I tried to make a neural network generate fan art for me, but that went pretty badly. So I thought, what if the question is it a furry or not, is relevant to many things. People, cartoon characters, I guess, sometimes. The utility of this concept was not lost on me, and that is why I wanted to make an app. But what you would have to do is you have to have like a server, and it costs a lot of money to like upload the images and like all this big pain. I'm like, that's stupid, let's not do that. So what instead, we're gonna do something that was free instead. I downloaded TensorFlow, which we've talked about before, and it's I used wrong button. Oh, wait a second. I completely forgot. I had a couple things to say before we start that. All my wildlife has been moved from that tiny little, the smaller aquarium thingy to this. Ah! That scared me. Everybody's in there. Everybody's really happy. A lot of snails and the crayfish are swimming around, and it's pretty nice. Also, I want to say, you know, before we get down to business here, don't worry. This is not going to take long. I have completely revamped my merch stuff. Originally, I was going to buy a website called averystore.com, but that's already taken because, funnily enough, there is a store in the US that sells office supplies, I think, called Avery. And I would like to do a little legal disclaimer here. I am not affiliated with any company that has my name in their name. Don't sue me, please. What I ended up going with is averymerch.com. Head on over there right now. Wow, look at this. Stickers starting at only $3. If you saw the last video, you've heard about my Patreon situation and how, you know, it's not, I'm broke. So, if you would like to help support the channel, you can buy a Fat Paw sticker and stick it somewhere, and it's as low as $3. That's it. Shipping is typically pretty cheap as well. Also, there's a tank top, which is funny. averymerch.com. Okay. Sorry. Back to the neural network junk, right? I downloaded this stuff called TensorFlow. Well, it's a neural network thing Google made, I think. I don't know what's going on. If you can't tell, I am not a computer scientist. Point is, though, they have this really nice tutorial about I think my hands are just hard to focus on for some reason. Maybe there's some sort of chip embedded that prevents hand focusing. They have this really cool tutorial where you download a bunch of scripts and you show it a bunch of images of stuff, and then it can categorize other images you throw into it. So if I throw in an image of my hand, you know, it will look at it and say, does this match to the other stuff I've seen? I tried to do it on this computer, but unfortunately for us, it's really weird. I think there's something wrong with the drivers. I don't know. It was a lot easier to do on Linux. So I have a laptop downstairs that runs Linux, and it's really old. You will blah, blah, blah. We're going to go look at that laptop in a second. I think that's, well, actually, yeah, let's go do that now. If you're new to the channel, this might be a little awkward as we are in my bedroom, which, you know, I know this is happening pretty fast, but I'm gonna shut up. This is that laptop I was mentioning. You might remember it from that video I did where I reacted to Mr. Threadbanger reacting to my video that I made forever, like years ago, about him. Should I turn off the light? Do I dare? It ran a grand total of, I want to say, 300,000 times. So what I did is I loaded a bunch of images of fursuits and furry art and some of my fan art as well. I don't know. Oh man, why did I have to? I should have brought the laptop upstairs. Typically with this sort of thing, what you would do is you have a data set. So you have all these images of just random people, for example, and typically you can find, you know, thousands, like a collection of thousands of those images online for free and download it and use that. But unfortunately for us, nobody had that for furries because this is a pretty niche concept. So what I resolved to is just Googling furry and just downloading like the first 1,000 images or something. I had to go through each image manually. Surprisingly, it was pretty SFW, which is nice. So we're gonna try to preserve the computer's innocent mind. This is a comfy blanket. Look, there's a fan attached to my wall. I got it to train on those images, I believe, about 300,000 times. So, and it was surprisingly fast, especially for this laptop from like 2001 or something, running an OS it wasn't intended to run. The other day, I put an image of Tony the Tiger through it to see what it said, and it said it was 100% sure it was furry art. But then I put a picture of Rhett from Rhett and Link through it, and it said it was 99% sure it was a fursuit. So that's problematic, obviously, and my course of action, I thought, was to download, I don't know, I found somewhere a data set of a bunch of people images. So it's just a bunch of freaky images of people. And I say freaky because a lot of them are like security cam footage and just really eerie. Like there's thousands, or hundreds rather, probably more accurately, of just these random people's faces, completely nameless. The reason I did this was, oh wow, look at that color balance. Goodness gracious. It's like the orange room. The wall's white, so I'll do that, I'll figure that out in post. The reason I did this is because I have this theory, like as I've said, and I think quite obviously, I am not a computer scientist, but the way I'm pretty sure this works is it only knows the images you're giving it, if that makes sense. It's comparing those images, and I think by giving it images of people as well and say, hey, this is not a furry, it'll be able to train a little bit better. Also, before I fed in all these images of people, I inputted a picture of Jack's films, and it said it wasn't a furry, which is obviously like big indication that this wasn't really working. So according to the training data, it is currently 97% accurate, telling the difference between art, furries, and people. So, I don't know, I guess that's interesting. So, I mean, without further ado, let's give this a shot, I guess. So, let's see here. I have a picture of a fat paw, Rhett of Good Mythical Morning, a picture of Tony the Tiger, which I'm not going to show in full size because I don't want to get sued. Lastly, a picture of an anonymous fursuiter. And what we're going to do is I'm going to feed it through this fantastic and very intelligent algorithm. Keep in mind, this thing didn't really train for that long. I mean, it's been 2 days. We are going to start with the fat paw sticker. Sorry for the shakiness, you know, the drill here. My camera was actually just on that massive stabilizer right there with all my other stuff, but I took it off because it's a lot lighter and a lot easier to just hold it. Oh my goodness, look what happened. So it says it only took like 1 second, which it took a lot longer than that. But it says fursuit score 100%. Art 0, not a furry 0. Which is really impressive, mind you, because that was the picture of the sticker. You can see there are designs in the background and stuff, but the paw was noticeable enough that it was able to pick it out. Okay, up next we're going to try the tiger and see what happens. Oh wow, check this out. Art 100%, everything else 0. Now, in my, pretty extensive neural network knowledge, saying it's 100% certain is sort of, doesn't make a lot of sense. If it really knew what it was doing, it would say, I'm 99% sure that... Does that make sense? Like, I think the fact that it's saying 100 just shows that it hasn't been trained enough. I think it needs more work in that respect. And also, I mean, I am sort of cherry picking. Does that make sense? Because like I'm not really trying to trick it here. I think it would be pretty easy to trick it. These are images that I've picked. The anonymous fursuit. Ready? Enter. Let's see what does it have? Art 96%, fursuit 02. That's really low. What happened? Okay, maybe I fed it the wrong image. Let's look. Okay. Okay, this is funny. I am not going to show the image of the fursuit that I fed it there because I do not know whose suit it is and I do not have any rights to show the picture. The suit is a Nick Wilde suit. It's Nick Wilde. If I'm correct, a lot of the art I showed it had Nick Wilde in it. So the reason it says it's art is because it picked up on the Nick Wilde thing. I'm almost 100% certain that's why, which is hilarious. I'm sure a lot of the furry art has Nick Wilde in it, and it saw Nick Wilde and it says, oh, this is probably art. This is so weird, guys. This is like such a different format to what I typically do, especially considering like how shaky it is and the low lighting, and I don't know. I hope this video turns out good. Okay, we're gonna do it with a fursuit that does not look like Nick Wilde. I haven't tested this yet. Fursuit, 100% certain. Dude, that's crazy. It's 100%. Although, you know what? Okay, we're going to try one more just to be safe because that image was inside of its training data, if that makes sense. So it's pretty easy for that to pick it up. I say we look up a picture of Majira, who probably isn't going to sue me. Love you, Kyle. What is happening? Oh my gosh. 100% sure. Okay. That's actually really cool. You just saw a computer look at an image it's never seen before. And I said, people are people, furries are furries. That's what I told it. I know, it seems like, besides the art, it's probably a pretty sad existence just looking at images of people's faces, expressionless, and fursuits. Actually, that might be sort of, Shut up, Avery. No, it's not perverted. Point is, it just looked at an image it's never seen before, and it said it's 100% sure it's a fursuit. 100%. About half a second to figure out that Majira was a furry. This laptop was made forever ago. It ran like Windows XP when it was released or something. I'm pretty happy with that. I think that's an interesting experiment. Now, get out of my bedroom, you perverts. Forget it. All my videos are going to be shot here from now on. Do you know that you can watch my videos 24 hours? 24 hours in advance. You can do it if you go to my Patreon and but if you can't donate, I completely understand. What I would really appreciate you do, like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you dislike it, subscribe, and maybe even click the bell icon. Thanks to my Patreon people. Here they are. Unfortunately, this video is being filmed a lot earlier than it's going to come out, so I can't really say anybody's name yet. I love you guys. AveryMerch.com is the place to go to get $3 stickers of Fat Paws. No, seriously, get out of my bedroom, you perverts.